Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome. I'm just gonna give it like a minute for people to join, and then we're gonna get the stream started. I'm just enjoying my matcha tea latte. Okay, so there's a lot to cover, guys. I'm so bloated from the weather and humidity change. My face is like puffy, like the Pillsbury Doughboy right now. So I've had like 4 days off of the market, and there's a lot of updates, guys. Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Philakone, Phil, whatever you want to call me, Mama Whale, and I am in the Philippines for the next 3 months because just needed a change of scenery. So my lady and I are here to work. We're not here for pleasure. We're not going to be going anywhere other than staying in our area, staying in our hotel suite that we got for 3 months. It's a beautiful place that we're staying at with lots of amenities. It's very comfortable. It's about 100 square meters. Didn't need anything extravagant because we're here for work. We brought the pets over. So just to catch you guys up on that, I'm now in the Philippines, so completely different time zone than most people in America. And unfortunately, we're about 12 hours apart now, right? I'm literally on the opposite side of the world. So we're going to cover a few things today. We're going to cover how the market is trending, alt season, and we're going to talk about day trading very seriously on a different level because clearly it's very difficult to invest right now and to make a profit from investing. So I have firmly believed that day trading is going to provide much more profitability provided the skills and the leadership are there. So let's just jump right into it. So for those that don't know me, I've been in the crypto space for about 10 years now. And I started out as a major day trader, and that's how I gained the reputation in the community. So just to break away from the introduction very quickly, this is my first live stream, so on a new computer. So I do apologize in advance if there are some errors in terms of just hardware issues or lag or anything like that. So let me know the feedback to see how it goes. Before we jump into it, I want to let you guys know about a coin called ACH that I'm watching right now. And this is a freebie for everybody. ACH is making one of my favorite patterns called the expanding diagonal. And if you just Google expanding diagonal, you're gonna learn a lot of the characteristics about them. And one of the main characteristics about them is that they tend to break down, right? You can click on pretty much any of these and you're gonna see that they expand, they reach a top, and then they break down. They break down usually extremely hard. So it's one of my favorite patterns to trade. So because of that, I highly recommend that you guys keep an eye on it. Of course, it could also be a continuation pattern, but usually when it hits the very high side, it's a good opportunity to consider taking a short position. And that's what it's been doing for the past few days now. For about 1 day, it's trying to complete the third wave. This is going to be some sort of third wave pattern that it completes, I believe. And I think that it's going to most likely finish it, and then once it does, it's gonna have a high opportunity to take a really good short position with high probability of winning. I can't remember where the Elliott wave feature is here. It's so weird that my memory is not the best right now. So this is most likely the pattern in here, I believe. Then this makes a 1 2 3 4. This is the 5. The 4 comes down basically right to the wave 1 territory. Do you guys see that? And then, or even here, okay, the 4 comes down to. So if you look at it very closely, like it looks like it made this type of pattern. Okay, so the fourth wave is making an A, B, C, D, E type of pattern. A, B, C, D, E, right? So it makes a very beautiful symmetric triangle. And then now the fifth wave is actually breaking to the upside. It doesn't mean that the fifth wave will get there, but what it does mean is that you can see all of these lower highs that are actually breaking, right? Like that's a lower high, that's a lower high, that's a lower high. If you go in a lower time frame, this is also a lower high, and then it breaks the pattern, which means that the symmetric triangle is broken and the fifth wave is being attempted right now. But it doesn't mean that you should long the fifth wave, because the fifth wave can be very unpredictable. So let's jump right into the market and how we're trending. I'll keep it very short for those that don't have time, because I don't have time to give you guys a big update. The market sentiment is incredibly bearish right now in all of crypto. And they have a right to be, because of many factors, such as the weekly MACD has now crossed over in a very major way. If you look at like some people that I know have exited basically their entire portfolios already, for good reason, right? They're scared of a major dip occurring. So you can see that ACH, I'm just putting an alert up there so I know when it gets higher. Okay, so if you take a look at like the past, okay, let's take a look at the weekly chart in the past. Okay, so the weekly chart in the past, when the MACD has crossed over, it's never been like a really good event. Okay, so you can see here, for example, the MACD crossed over on this particular, right here, right? It crossed over, and then look what ended up happening, right? Of course, it delayed more so right around there. But you can see that for that crossover in 2017, we ended up dropping a significant amount. We dropped about 30%. And then if you take a look at other crossovers that have happened before, some of them faked out, right? Some of them didn't come close to crossing over. But you can see the times where they do cross over in the past. Like for example, this one, right? This one here ended up dropping a total of about, like from the top over here, it dropped about 30% as well. So whenever we see a MACD crossover and we combine it with like a super trend indicator, what we're going to notice is that many times it goes below the super trend indicator but recovers in a bull market. That's one example. This is another example where it trends below it, right? And then here's a third one where it goes below it. So there are many times where we're going to get below the super trend indicator. And then if you take a look at in 2021, right? This is a crossover right here, or in 2020 rather, right? We crossed over, and then look how much the market drops there as well, right? Or prior to it even. Okay, so prior to it total, because it's a lagging indicator, it dropped about 21%. It goes below the super trend indicator, then it recovers, right? So that happened multiple times. So unfortunately, we're kind of in that situation right now as well, where we got the MACD crossover on the weekly. It's trending down. It's literally about to smash this super trend indicator on the weekly, and it's probably going to break below it finally. So if you take a look right now at the way Bitcoin's trending, like it would be wise, if some of you guys exited your position, I would say it was a wise decision, because I think there's going to be opportunity to buy lower. Right now, we're just finishing up this pattern. Okay, do you guys see the daily super trend indicator? It's resisting below it so hard, and do you guys hear that in the background? It's my cats. I don't know if you guys hear that, but it's my cats just in the litter box. They're just in the bathroom here. There's two bathrooms here that they get one of them. So we could see that like around 95K is about to get smashed, right? Because we got this crazy pattern of a lower high forming every time. And also we got that red super trend indicator that's literally trying to force it below here. It's a classical lower high with a support that is being smashed right now. Okay, so this looks like it's gonna probably drop very hard down to $91,000. Okay, so I don't see it any other way. The only other way is that the bulls recover after a major drop of about 30 days, and then then we stop it with the lower high pattern. Instead of a descending triangle going down, we break upwards. But I think that chance is really freaking low, because if you look at the altcoin market as well, right? Like the Bitcoin dominance is literally fucking everybody over right now. It's heading to the upside, but the price is dropping. So do you guys know what that means? When Bitcoin dominance goes up, but the price of Bitcoin drops, it just means that everybody's unloading their altcoins, and then they're buying Bitcoin as it drops, right? But so altcoins take an even bigger hit, as you can see in the total 2. It's representative of that, right? So altcoins have dropped significantly. It's almost wiping out the majority of the gains already. Okay, And so you can see altcoins just a series of red candle after red candle after red candle. It just can't gain any momentum above the super trend indicator. So you look at a coin like Ethereum, everybody was like, no, Ethereum will never hit that. It'll never hit this trend line again ever. And look what happened. It ended up hitting that trend line very, very easily, actually. Whoops. Super easily. So the chances of the total 2 market cap getting to these lower ranges, I think it's actually pretty high. So right now, unfortunately, I have to be bearish with the market as well. There's just nothing that's leading up towards like a bullish sentiment right now. But there's another argument as well, right? Like, first of all, the fundamental sentiment is really not aligned with the retail investor sentiment at all. Everything in fundamentally is bullish across the board. We can go on and on for days about the adoption of crypto, regulation, blah, 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 Federal Reserve, right? Trump being elected, but nothing has happened. Nothing has been reflected in the charts that's showing that retail traders are actually committed right now. You also take a look at the funding rate. The funding rate is the lowest that it's ever been because nobody's leveraging. Nobody wants to actually leverage into a long position right now. So the funding rate is incredibly low. It's like, I think it's 5% right now on Binance for USDT. When it's really busy, it's something like, I think 12 to 15% because they're desperate to get people to fund USDT so people can leverage higher so they can make more money on the exchange. So right now, another argument that you can make is that when the sentiment is this bearish and there's blood in the streets, that's the time to DCA. And the bull market does kick off when there's this much fear in the market. So there's a lot of other like fear and greed index right now. It hasn't even made a parabolic move up like we saw in January. Okay, in January leading up to April, we saw like a parabolic move going to the upside. But I don't see any of that yet, right? So if I had to ask the big question, do I think that the bull market is over? I don't think it's over. But I do think it's severely delayed. And if the bull market does continue, it's probably going to be shortened in my opinion. The liquidity has ran out. Meme coins are fucking everything up right now. Presidents like, Trump's coin, the president of Argentina with Libra, fuck that, man. Everybody's getting in on shit. We're basically being scammed out of a bull market right now. But if you take a look at the good news, right? The good news is this is the short-term bubble risk. It's very low. We haven't had that parabolic red move to the upside where it's so high in terms of the risk bubble, right? Here's 2017, here's 2021, right? There's nothing of that yet, right? The ROI after the halving, it just shows that we're just like in a baby stage right now. And we have to understand the reason for the halving, right? It's a deflationary method, right? So the halving is critically important for the value of Bitcoin to continue to rise. And historically, and also economically, it's just not possible for the price of Bitcoin to lower significantly after the halving. It can only go up from there. So because of that, like we're very low in the cycle right now. We haven't even reached like barely 300 days or so. And you can take a look at the other cycles, they have gone to the moon. So right now, despite all of the fear in the market, there's still massive opportunity. And that's why I've decided to commit to day trading significantly. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my plans for day trading and what I plan to do with my group. No, I'm not advertising my group or anything like that. Don't take it the wrong way. I started a live trading group that will begin March the 1st, where I'll be live streaming my whole screen and narrating for about 8 hours a day. And it's very limited. Only 50 people got in for the trial period of March. So the way I'm going to run it is I'm going to have a dedicated person that's already been appointed, and she's going to basically hunt for coins for us every single day. She needs to be very familiar with Elliott wave theory because we're going to focus on specific setups. And the method that we're going to use to hunt for these trades is basically going down the watch list for hold on, where is it here? We're going to go down the watch list of Binance every single day, at least once or twice, and we're gonna hunt for a few things. So it's gonna require immense knowledge of Elliott wave theory. It's also gonna require knowledge of patterns, and we're only gonna focus on basically two types of trades, okay? The first trade that I'm gonna focus on is a fifth wave formation that is formed, okay? And the fifth wave, like just as an example, right? So if you guys were to focus on day trading as well, this would be very good advice for you. And this is what I specialize in after 10 years of trading. I am not going to deviate away from what I'm very good at. I'm going to stick to only what I'm good at, right? Why bother? Like, you can add new skills to your arsenal of skills that you have already, but there's no point of completely branching off and trying new things because you're curious. It's better to optimize and fine tune what you're good at rather than trying to be a jack of all trades and trying to catch every single trade that comes up. Because the more you specialize highly in the strategy, the better you're going to do long term, because then the probability of these trades, they drastically increase. So even though it's so easy for me to talk about, and I say that I'm going to focus on these trades, right? I'm going to focus on basically the first one is going to be 5 Elliott waves that have formed, okay? So the 5 Elliott waves that form, I will short it. But the thing is, sometimes it's going to be only a third wave. We never short the first wave because we can, well, unless it's very clear, right? But within each Elliott wave, I hope that everybody's paying attention. So you basically have, you can have 5 waves in here, right? In the first wave. If it's a reasonable trade, right? A reasonable fractal, we basically catch that wave and we short it. If it's also reasonable to catch the third one where it's clearly differentiable, then we short that one. But this is the one that we're going for the most. The bigger one. We're going for the big motherfucker where there are clear 5 waves that have moved a tremendous amount. So my goal will be to short this trade right here. And I'm only going to focus on the ones that run. Often enough, we're never going to catch the first wave, okay? We're never going to catch it because it's small, right? The third one is going to be the biggest one usually. But if all 5 waves form, 5 here, right, it's going to require an immense amount of Elliott wave. And also, this comes from experience and looking at the market enough. So even though I can talk about it all day and be like, yep, look for a 5th wave, right? Look for bearishly diverging RSI. It's a lot harder to actually short it because of the confidence required. But how often have you guys actually seen me lose this type of setup? Actually, every time I find these setups, I dollar cost average so well that it becomes like almost a 95% win rate, but it's easier said than done. So that's the first setup that we're going to take. The second setup is going to be this one. So that's the short setup that we're going to focus on. But of course, there needs to be a long setup as well. And we will never take a trade in my live trading group outside of these 2 types of trades. So often enough, this guy forms and then we never catch it. Okay, we never ever catch it because it's so small. The first wave is always very, very small. You rarely see it. Okay, and if you do, it's got to be really big. And if it does happen, you kind of forget about it, right? Because you're like, ah, fuck, the first wave formed already. Now it just kind of goes on the sidelines, right? So what we do is, if we do notice that this guy formed the first wave and it's moved a significant amount, it basically goes on a watch list, okay? It goes on a watch list, and then this watch list is going to be very comprehensive. So this person's job will basically be to chase and hunt the trades. And then my job will be to do the technical analysis on it. It's basically having a team of people. One person's job is to basically, you guys know what a lead is in sales? Like a lead in sales. Like, for example, fucking car sales company. Like, people selling cars, they get leads, right? They get leads that come in of potential buyers. And then there's a salesman that tries to close the sale. So in this particular case, someone's going to hunt for the trades. They may not all be good setups. It doesn't matter. But the point is, they're building a watch list of potential coins that we can trade. And then my job is going to be to do the technical analysis on it and to see which ones are viable. So this second one right here is going to be difficult because this goes on the watch list once this forms, right? But and then the only way that what we're gonna do next is we're gonna follow them. Okay, we're gonna follow them. But even if we don't follow them, eventually, if a third wave forms, the third wave is big, right? The third wave is generally very big, but the ideal goal is to spot a 1, 2, and a 3 that has formed. Okay, so a 1, 2, and not just a 3, but the 3 is confirmed once it breaks above the high of the first wave, right? So the first one, there's a lot of criteria to enter along. Okay, so right here, this one needs to be tracked, and then basically an alert. You right click, then you turn on an alert, right? When the price is greater than the wave 1, that's gonna notify you that the third wave is running, right? That's how you identify a third. And then once that third wave forms, we look for a pull. Oh shit, where did it go? So you're basically looking for a third wave that forms, right? And then it breaks above it. And then once it breaks above it, we're looking for a pullback or a continuation pattern on this potential third wave that's forming, because you're now assuming it's going to run further, right? Like I can give you a random example on the top of my head. ACH, sure. Here's ACH, right? So here's a perfect example of a first wave that formed, right? First wave forms, right? The breakout occurs, a pullback happens, and you're looking for like a retest or a pattern, right? So this is the perfect example. But the only way for you to have caught this is to first of all notice the run, the 23% rally. So it goes on a watch list, you set an alert on this guy, and then once it breaks above it over here, once the price is greater than it, now you're watching it closer, because you're then looking for basically a pullback or a pattern that forms so you can trade the long continuation. So the long one is going to be very difficult, but the person responsible for this is going to hunt for these long types of patterns. So then you're going to have a gigantic watch list of potential shorts that are making a fifth wave, and also potential longs that are now running the third wave. So if you stick to specific strategies, you're going to highly win. And this is what I'm going to be doing in my live trading group. I'm basically going to have a team of people or a person, and we're basically going to be trading. So my goal is to trade with about $50,000 and double that in 1 month, lowering my position sizes to ensure there's liquidity in the group so I don't spike the market. Because you guys have seen me trade, like, you know, sometimes I'm trading like 500K, like $1 million, $1.5 million. And I tend to spike up markets like in a major way when I day trade, because that's not a reasonable day trading size. So if you're trading with a group, you can't all be trading hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So because of that, we're basically I'm going to reduce my position size, and this way we can all catch it. So that's the goal for day trading. So because I think the market's absolutely shitty right now, I don't think that it's going to be possible to invest and be as profitable as day trading. And there will be many other strategies that we're going to use to find trades as well. And one of the other ways that we're going to find the trades, so one is basically hunting for Elliott waves. The second one is going to be hunting for third wave formations. And the third way that we're going to do is we're basically going to keep coins that are running for the month on a watch list. So we're going to use the crypto screener for that. Okay, we're going to set everything up. We're going to basically go to the weekly or the monthly, right? The monthly is probably better. So you go to the monthly here, then mine's set up, it's all custom made for me already. So for example, now in February, we want to look for the ones that are running. So notice all of mine, the ones that are running, the only coins that are actually bullish this month in February that have been up is BNX, OM, BAN, Cake, SU, and GLM. But there's also some other ones that are skewed, right? Like for example, ACH is definitely running this month. But if you take a look at the way it's been, right, on monthly, it's comparing it to the other month. So the high is going to be different. So this information is a little bit wrong, because clearly ACH has been running very, very significantly this month. But if you take a look back 30 days, right, it's, you know, the data is skewed. Do you guys understand that? Because it's taking for the month only. So because in February, like the price was down, right? So if you take a look at the close in the February, obviously the price it's going to say it's down 28% rather than being up, right? So if you take a look at the monthly, it's going to give you not the best information. That's why you also have to go to the weekly, right? You have to go to the weekly, and then you're going to see ACH run. You're going to see IP run. You didn't see ARC run for the month, but you saw it run for the week. So you're basically going to take the weekly and also the monthly to see which ones are running. Then we put that on the watch list, and we follow these coins very meticulously to see if they're running or to see if they're forming a fifth wave. So technical analysis is very important for trading, but an equally important part of trading is also having the ability to find the trades, right? So for example, if you had people doing this, like 2 people doing this as a team, and it's going to be my lady that's going to be helping me with this. We're here in the Philippines. We work as a team to trade. She's going to be responsible to find the trades. And then I'm going to be responsible for doing the technical analysis on them to close the trade. And that's how we're going to make a shit ton of fucking money, guys, in my live trading group together. So I just wanted to explain to you guys some of the behind the scenes when it comes to trading. So other than that, just to summarize, guys, Bitcoin's looking really bearish. It's probably going to hit $92,000. Altcoins are bleeding out of their ass right now. And there's a high chance that Bitcoin's going to hit like $91,000, $92,000 very soon. Altcoins are not longable right now in any way. Coins like Solana have made a new yearly all-time low. Other coins like Polkadot are now parabolically moving to the downside, right? Every coin is bleeding. Some coins are holding up a little bit better than others. Like, you know, like not even HBAR is doing well now. Like, you know, a lot of coins are just bleeding out of their ass. The sentiment is very bearish. So, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even going to DCA anything. I'm just going to day trade and make a shit ton of money instead. Because there's always going to be coins that are running in every type of market. Even if Bitcoin's dropping, as shown already, there's a lot of coins that are still going to be in the green that I can short when they move upwards. So fuck it. I'm not going to bother looking at the market in a macro picture anymore. I'm just going to focus on the short term and just day trade. Okay, so right now there's a list of 600 people on the waiting list. So March is just a trial period to see how it goes. And then in April, I'm going to make the permanent list where I'm only going to take lifetime members to come trade with me. And those lifetime people of 25 people only, there's going to be a significant fee. The reason for that is because you're investing in my skills and you will make that money back as long as you put in the effort as well. And secondly, I'm also reducing reducing my position sizes. So if I do that, I'm making less money. So I have to be compensated for my time somehow. Because if I day traded solo with like $500,000, I'd be a lot more profitable than trading with a group with less money, right? So I have to respect my time. But the 20 or the 50 people that get in for April, we're going to be trading together for many, many, many years. And I promise you that the investment in me and in yourself is going to highly offset that. Okay, guys? So other than that, look forward to it. We're going to be trading a lot more together. Fuck yeah. Let's catch these trades, guys. Have a great day and stay safe. Very, very safe, guys.